Today we're going to be talking about how to convert terminating decimals into fractions. There are a few steps that I will give you in order to make this process easier. First step is you're going to place your decimal over a fraction bar. Second step, you're going to place a 1 under your decimal point. Step 3, you're going to put a 0 under each digit after the decimal, and that's very important, only after the decimal. And number 4, you're going to remove your decimal. Obviously, if possible, you're going to reduce your fraction. You may need a calculator for your reducing, so make sure that you have that ready to go. All right, so let's go to some examples. Example 1. I'm going to start it off easy with, I'm going to say 0.75. Now, we all know what this is as a decimal, but I'm going to show you why it works. Okay, so we're going to put a fraction bar, that's step 1. Step 2, put a 1 under the decimal. Step 3, I have 2 numbers after the decimal, so I need 2 zeros. Step 4, we're going to get rid of the decimal. The 0 in front doesn't do anything. Get rid of your decimal. And if you can reduce, you should. And if I think about this, I could divide the top by 25, divide the bottom by 25, so I'm reducing by a unit, 25 units. And that gives me a 3 on the top and a 4 on the bottom, which we know that 3/4 is 3/4. 3/4 is equivalent to 0.75 or 75 hundredths. All right, and this also helps you if you've never learned how to say decimals appropriately. This tells you that it's 75 hundredths. There's 100 under it. I'll show you something that is not the same. Like if I say 0.7. Step 1, put a fraction bar there. Step 2, place a 1 under the decimal. Step 3, I have 1 number after the decimal, so I only need 1 0. Okay? Step 4 is get rid of the decimal. And if you can reduce, you should. I can't reduce 7 over 10. But this is called 7/10. It has the 10 under. This is the tenths spot. So if you're ever reducing, like if you get directions that say reduce to the nearest tenths or the nearest hundredths, and you forget, like, I don't remember what is the nearest tenths or the nearest hundredths, you can go ahead and do that. And that'll help you realize what it is. All right, example 3. Let's say 1.48. Okay, you're going to notice that I put a number in front of my decimal, but my steps have not changed. I'm going to put a fraction bar there. I'm going to put a 1 after or under the decimal. And I'm only counting the values after the decimal. I have 2 digits after the decimal, so I'm adding 2 zeros. The next step is going to be to get rid of the decimal. So I have 148 on the top and 100 on the bottom. And if I can reduce, I should, and I certainly can. These are both even. So when in doubt, try to divide by 2. So I'm going to divide the top by 2, divide the bottom by 2. I'm going to get 14. It goes in 7 times and 4 here. And then this becomes a 50, which means I could do it again. Divide by 2, divide by 2, which means I should have divided by 4 the first time. I get a 25 on the bottom, and on the top I get a 37 25ths. And we're just going to leave it like that. Do not make that a mixed number. Don't worry about that. All right, last example that I'm going to do on the terminating fractions, which are fractions that are terminating decimals or decimals that end. So I'm going to say 16.8. Step 1, fraction bar. Step 2, put a 1 under the decimal. Step 3, I have one number after the decimal, so I only need 1 0. Do not count these numbers in front of the decimal. Step 4, we're going to get rid of the decimal. And if I can reduce, which I definitely can, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I get an 84 on top and a 5 on the bottom. Now I know that some of you guys are thinking, well, don't we change that into a mixed number? That's an improper fraction. The top can't be bigger than the bottom. You're going to notice that this year we're not going to do much with mixed numbers. All of our things are going to basically stay fractions, which is a connective component to our linear equations unit. All right, there you go.